All right, we're going to review Pythagoras. Like I said to my Ignites, I don't know if I said it as strongly to the mainstreamers last year. If you wanted a repeat of year 10, you choose general maths. It's coming true now. We're reviewing Pythagoras. What does Pythagoras' theorem tell us? In a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is the sum of the squares of the other two sides. You don't need to remember that, because writing that on your cheat sheet won't help you as much as this. The formula that you need for Pythagoras is this. The short sides should always be A and B. C is the hypotenuse. I'll write it on there to help you out. C, hypotenuse. The hypotenuse on a right-angled triangle is always the longest side. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Please note the formula is set up to find C, the hypotenuse. You can rearrange it to find A or B by rearranging with algebra. I'll give you one example to do that. Can you get the formula down, please? So I notice a lot of you Ignite guys are getting ahead. That's fine. You can go ahead if you get up to the timeline where it says starting the DI, like you two have. I'll tell you what the starting requirements are. I can't give you the task sheet yet. I can give you what you need to start it. What's the advantage of you getting ahead? I will draft your work multiple times. If you don't get ahead, I'll draft it once. And for people that haven't had me, you want to get my drafts. You'll get actual feedback. Is that a true statement?
Yep.
I'll scroll it down so you can see the two examples I'd like to go over. See, in that formula is always the hypotenuse. It's the longest side. If you don't know if it's the longest side or not, it's the one opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. All right, let's have a go at example A. What is the x labelled on example A? Is that the hypotenuse or is that one of the shorter sides? Hypotenuse. The hypotenuse. So your equation is set up for that. It doesn't matter what order you do A and B in. It's just the shorter sides. What are the shorter sides in example A? 3 and 4. So 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to x squared, unknown. You grab a calculator. You're always going to be allowed, you'll see maybe on your timeline where it says something about no notes, no calculator allowed on one of your tests. SACE has removed that now, up until year 12. So your subject's even easier than it used to be. 3 squared, 9 plus 4 squared, 25. 25 is equal to x squared. What is the opposite of squaring something? Square root, if you're not familiar with that, it is this little button here. It's got a little 2 above it, and it's like a tick with an X. So the way the Apple calculator works is you press the number, and then you square root it. And so it's telling you, what number do I times by itself? To get 25, it's 5. So X should be 5 meters. It's a 3, 4, 5 right-angled triangle. That's your first example. That first example is set up to find the hypotenuse. That's what your formula is set up to do. But you have an example here to find not the hypotenuse. We'll do that together. Guys, if you want the attention, you could run the lesson if you want. Don't stuff it up. I don't make mistakes. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Which one here could I write as A? Is 20 going to be A? No, it's the longest side, so that has to be C. So 20 squared must go there. Does it matter the order that I decide what A and B is? No, they just have to be the shorter sides. X squared plus 18 squared. You can rearrange it after you've worked everything out. I don't know what x squared is, so I'll leave it. Nothing's stopping me working out what 18 squared is. It's 324. Is there anything stopping me working out what 20 squared is? I just work it out. It's on the calculator. 20 times 20 is 400. Now I use algebra. I want to get rid of that 324 because it's in front of my x squared. What's the opposite of adding 324 to something? Taking. So if I took 324 and I took 324 from both sides, I like to put them in a brick. I don't like subtraction. 400 take 324, 76. X squared is equal to 76. Tell me again what the opposite of squaring something was. Square root. To find what x is, square root of 76. Not a nice number this time. X is 8.7. What's that going to round to 2 decimal points? 8.72 with brackets, 2 dp, and the units we were talking about is centimeters. That is the second example to show the sides. I'll stop recording.